Hello, 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 hello. This is Bruno Mazali, the World Classic Ambassador for Peace. I'm here today. As you know, New Year 2019 is just around here. And I'm sitting here with one of my favorite, my super great friend. I'm telling you, she's bombastic. She's like a bomb.com. It's amazing. It's going to be a great time today to share great information. Can it really giving you the privilege to get where you are coming, what you need to do with this amazing, great. Most of the time, people they don't know what to do. So this is a great time for us to share what we can help and how we can work together, make the changes we are looking for. Because remember, it takes a village to make a difference for any situation out there. Hello, my sister. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, Bruno. It's amazing to be here with you and see you again.
I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing, and I was just saying that it's awesome to connect with you again. So thank you for having me.
Great, Jenny, it's really cool to have this moment for you and I today to share some great important information all over around the world. Number one, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. I hope 2019 is treating you good. You deserve
Well,
it.
it looks like it's a great time now. We just connected, and we're looking forward to see how we can make some numbers moving. Now, I would like to introduce to let you introduce yourself to the world, who you are, and what you are all is about.
All right. Well, nice to meet you all. My name is Jennie Lynn. And right now I do a variety of different things. My college background it was as a nurse, and I do professional bodybuilding, professional modeling. And recently I kind of stepped out of my comfort zone and took a leap of faith and went into business for myself. And my husband and I actually have our own coaching business with Bob Proctor. Most people have heard of him from the movie The Secret, one of the world's leading experts on success, potential, and wealth building. So we teach and train individuals globally as well as companies. I have a number one best-selling book called Magnetic Love. So do authorship, personal development coaching. I do sales. Um, I do affiliate marketing. That's actually where you and I met, Bruno. I was doing an affiliate marketing event. But there really isn't anything I won't do. I love adventure. I love exploring. I love teaching and training and coaching people. I love fitness. But other than that, I'm just somebody who's had amazing experiences in life and really just looking to share and connect and lead and help people grow and reach their full potential.
That's really cool. Now, let me ask you this. That's something I like to ask you. Sometimes I see you in a different perspective. Beautiful as a model, maybe more than a model. And also, I saw something very interesting, bodybuilder. Can you tell me what this is about? And if you can share also with the world some pictures so they can see who you are, and we can talk next topic about that.
Absolutely. So I would say anybody that considers themselves a bodybuilder is really just somebody that's looking to shape their body. It doesn't necessarily mean like a male bodybuilder or somebody with a lot of muscle, but just somebody that likes to be in the gym and lift weights and shape and sculpt their muscles. So for me, I've always been an athlete, just very active kid, and naturally just had a muscular physique. I did landscaping when I was younger. And then when I got out of college, I was at the gym and somebody asked me if I competed. And I said, no, I don't really know what you mean. I mean, I heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's really the extent of my knowledge of competitions. But then this one woman, she's like, you'd be great at it. You should give it a shot. And I said, all right, I'd love to get in the best shape of my life. And I really needed a confidence boost and just a goal to hit. So, and it's actually one of my goals in life. And, you might look at me now, but you would never have known that I was the ugly duckling tomboy growing up, the unpretty girl that never got asked to school dances and just was very insecure and not confident, struggled with relationships. But, I was a late bloomer, but when you bloom, and I think that beauty is something we all bring about from within, and our body is just a physical manifestation of our mind, so but basically I entered it into competitions, which is basically you just get in really good shape. There's 4 different categories for females. There's bikini, there's figure, physique, and bodybuilding. And as you go in those categories, you get larger and leaner. Larger meaning larger muscles, leaner meaning less body fat. So I had always wanted to be a model, always wanted to be pretty and accepted and just feel good about myself. So I thought that competing was a good way to do that. And I wanted to be on the cover of magazines and maybe get sponsored. So here I went into, bodybuilding. And then took me 3 shows. My first 2 shows didn't place, but I didn't give up. In my 3rd show, I actually won it. And then I won my pro card. And then I went on to win 2 more. So I'd been competing for a couple years now. And basically, like I said, you can be a bodybuilder without competing, but most people, it's like a pageant. You go up there and you're on stage with maybe 10 people, and they're just looking for the most balanced, the biggest muscles, the best posing, the best stage presence. So it's a lot of practice, and a lot of it goes into it, because I think if you see some of the most successful people, they probably take care of themselves, but a lot of people find that it takes a lot of discipline and willpower and mental toughness to bring yourself into the best shape. You have to give up foods you don't want to give up. You have to eat low calories. You have to do a rigorous exercise regimen. So I attribute my success as an entrepreneur to having the skills and habits I developed as a bodybuilder. And obviously I value my health. So I've always just wanted to, my body is the house I live in, and I want to look my best, but I also want to feel my best, and they kind of go hand in hand. So that's basically the long-winded answer to, what is bodybuilding, but there's different federations, there's natural ones, and sometimes people can take drugs. I only did the natural ones. But all in all, like I said, it's a great industry, and it's a great goal to have for yourself. Like I said, I achieved the goal of reaching pro status, and that's kind of what I do now. I am retired from the stage, but I still do modeling, and I keep very fit and healthy.
That's very impressive. Do you have some pictures so people that can see you?
Ooh, yep. Let me just share my screen. Can you see this, Bruno?
That's amazing.
Yeah. So some of these within the last couple of years, these are some model shots that I had taken. But this is probably the best shape of my life that I had ever been in. And these are some other modeling shots. But like I said, I think a lot of people, especially for me, is even people on a weight loss journey, or if they have a health condition they're trying to fix it, it really is a transformational process. And you can really see the differences in your body when you do a show like this. And it's an amazing elated experience when you win. Everybody loves to win. So like when I compete, it's like I'm in it to win it. So I expect no less than 100% effort of myself, and it's really you just channeling your passion into this goal that you have. And we understand, how do you achieve the goals that you set out? Everybody wants to win, but only one person can. So how do you come out and be the best? And you're really just competing with yourself. You want to be better than who you are, not better than anybody else, and that's true of anything in life. So
Jen, this is amazing. It's very, very impressive. I really proud of you. Being strong and physical healthy. How about your spiritual?
So spiritually, I would say that's really where, in the last couple of years since I met Bob Proctor and became certified as a consultant, I really was able to study universal law. I actually wrote a book on, like I said, it's called Magnetic Love: Stop Chasing What You Want, Start Attracting It. And it basically encompasses a lot of different elements. But spiritually, I would say a lot of people don't know the difference between like religion and spirituality. But we have to realize that as humans, we're living on 3 planes. We're, a spiritual being living in a physical body, and we have an intellect. So a lot of people go through their lives and they're just very superficial, very stuck in this physical body, but they're not this body. They live in a body. And so spiritually, we have to realize that we're just a vibrating mass of energy. And when we say, feelings or emotions, it's just energy and motion. So energy is forever moving to and through us. And we get to decide how we get to channel that energy and how do we tap into this potential. Because as humans, we are electromagnetic beings. That's how we communicate. So our thoughts, magnetic our feelings. Okay. And unless you're on almost like a fourth dimension where you can interpret this, sometimes, like I said, we have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind, and so like one part of our mind is where we think and where we know, and then the other part is our emotional mind. It's our heart of hearts, as the Greeks call it. So when you say I feel something or I love you, you're actually saying it from your subconscious. But spiritually, I think that I've gone through a major transformation, a major awakening, and it's been absolutely fascinating to study myself, to actually know who I am and know what I want in life and define that. But also, everything in this world is about awareness. When we're born, we don't know if we're male or female. They don't teach wealth building principles in school. They don't teach you how to be a good spouse. They don't teach you how to love yourself and how to have confidence, how to do anything of any concert except just learn some information, go to school, get a job, and work for the rest of your life, which obviously is not what most people want to be doing. So spiritually, I think it's really it's introspection into the core of your being, raising your level of awareness to a point of self-mastery. I mean, that's all really where we want to be. There's 7 different levels of awareness, but that's what we teach with Bob Proctor. He's an expert at what we call changing your paradigm, which is just a multitude of habits that are these fixed ideas in a part of your mind, in your subconscious, that we continue to act and operate on with any conscious thought, without any conscious thought, actually. And basically, we will continue to operate on that like a computer program until those are replaced or changed. So again, that's kind of really what's controlling our life, is our paradigms. It's our level of awareness when it comes to money or our self-image. People have paradigms about many different things: relationships, confidence level. So for me, I was able to shift some major paradigms I had as a result of bodybuilding, and as a result of perfectionism. I had developed a major thyroid illness, but I was able to fully reverse that when I realized subconsciously some of the damage I was doing to myself by not loving myself and not appreciating or being grateful for my health. And that's what I wrote about in my book, to help empower people, to understand this information, because it's not taught in schools. And unless you've heard it from somebody or actually wanted to get hungry for more information, and what your soul is really craving, that growth, you'll never hear about it. So what I do with Bob Proctor is, like I said, he's certified us at a high level where his top globally. And I teach and train spiritual principles, universal law, and just helping people, like I said, raise their level of awareness by tapping into their inner potential and just closing the gap from where they are and where they want to be.
Great. So people that may want to know more about Bob Proctor, will you have 2 minutes to share? Maybe you have some picture with him so people know who we are talking about.
Yep, I could do that. So a lot of people, some people have heard of the book Think and Grow Rich. And basically, Bob Proctor is a global thought leader, and he is an expert in universal law, success, and wealth building principles, and also helping people reach their full potential. So he is studied from a gentleman by the name of Earl Nightingale, who was a direct student of Napoleon Hill, who wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. So Bob Proctor has basically passed down the legacy, has been studying this material, basically mindset. If you would sum it up as one word, mindset and mental development, for the past 60 years. So he has been studying himself. He's been learning and growing, and like I said, he's studied with some of the greatest leaders of all time. And then he's basically condensed this down into, he speaks publicly, globally. He's obviously been featured in the movie The Secret, which is featured a documentary about the law of attraction. And he does a lot of different live events. So I'm just going to pull up here and do another screen share. Can you see my screen here? So this is Bob in The Secret. A lot of people, when they may not know of him by name, but when they hear the movie The Secret, or they see a picture of him, he's obviously very well dressed. He's a tall, very confident man. And he really just has a goal to reach as many people as possible. And that's why he's certified coaches like me, because he's 84 years old. He's not going to be around forever, but he really wants to pass that legacy on, and he does a lot of charity work, but he's a self-made billionaire. He was not born into wealth. He was actually born in the Great Depression. But he basically attributes 99% of his success to following exactly what his mentor told him. He found a mentor that even, he didn't even know and didn't even believe, but he believed that his mentor believed it. And then eventually that belief transferred into Bob. And now Bob is basically acting as the mentor for the masses, helping people find themselves, find their way in life, build wealth, and live a life of freedom.
That's really impressive, and I'm so happy for you because you are very well full equipped for a lot of information, and I do believe that we can work together, making a difference a lot to the many people who are looking to change their lives. Hearing you and getting some coaching, changing their lifestyle. That's amazing. Jean, question: what do you think when people they talk about internet marketing? What does it come to your mind? It's something. Do you think people they have to consider as a business? People they have to consider as alternative. As you see now, the government shutting down. You can see millions of people, if not millions, but 100,000 people. They don't know what to do. So when we talk internet marketing, for your perspective, what it comes to your mind again?
I think internet marketing, it's a lot of different pieces. There's traffic, there's SEO, there's email marketing, there's copywriting, there's obviously social media, Facebook ads. So it's basically, if you're in a business, you need to be seen, you need to be visible. People need to access you, usually having a professional website. So if you really want to appear, at the top of Google when people start looking for your services, you really want to make sure you're working with an expert in internet marketing. So the exposure that I've had for internet marketing is like, for example, when I went to write my book, I needed to have a website, so I hired a web developer. I needed somebody to help me with copywriting and the layout and everything. I needed testimonials. But I really, the best thing that I did was I found a mentor. And that mentor was Onyx Singal. He was an expert in internet marketing, and he was a referral from Bob Proctor. So I attended his live event, and then I completed that and was able to launch my book and build my email list, because obviously email marketing is a way to develop a following. I mean, obviously internet marketing could be Facebook, having a Facebook following, could be YouTube channel, Pinterest, Twitter. There's a lot of different avenues to market via internet, which is basically what marketing is. But that's the thing, is you really want to be visible, you want to develop a following, and you want to have a strong message that resonates. And it's all in the delivery, and in the emotion that you channel in your message, in your brand, in your mission, in your pictures, in your videos. But you want to be an expert, you want to be a professional. So internet marketing, I think, is a growing industry. I mean, I've seen amazing things happen with people just from Facebook. Imagine what we did, how businesses found customers or people without social media. Is kind of beyond my generation. I mean, I was in my late teens when Facebook and MySpace and all these social media started to come out, but I grew up without that, and I wasn't very entrepreneurial back then. But you're dead in the water if you have no traffic to your business. So utilizing the internet is one of the most effective ways that you can scale and leverage your business. And like I said, there's a lot of people out there claiming to be experts, but if you want the best, you do your homework, and go with reputable people.
That's really interesting. Jen, I have a very good question prior to health and awareness, especially here in the United States. What comes to your mind when we talk about mental health?
So I think mentally healthy, or even like mentally fit, is just understanding that we kind of all have emotional baggage. And as one person put it, is we have to be able to digest our emotions. You know what I mean? We have to be aware. We have to understand feelings and vibration. And if we don't, we're bound to get frustrated. We're bound to suppress things, and then they end up being expressed elsewhere, which is the transmutation of energy. If we suppress something, or we repress something, a lot of times, it has to be expressed somewhere in the physical body. A lot of times it becomes anxiety, becomes fear, and then left long enough with that untreated starts to become disease. So if you were to say, what is mentally healthy, It's the same thing as you say, how do you define health? Is it a certain lab number? Is it a feeling? Is it an appearance? It's really subjective. But I think being mentally healthy or mentally fit or mentally tough is an awareness. You know, if you have mental issues, it's either a chemical imbalance, either over or under, or it's a disease, or it's just a lack of awareness. Like when you have anxiety, you have it because you don't know how to get rid of it. You know, other than popping pills, that doesn't go to the root cause. But when you are aware, and what I mean by aware is like you have this cognizance, this understanding that you can have intellectual objectivity, which means you can look outside of yourself at yourself, and you're not kind of like in the midst of your emotions, but you can detach yourself and respond to a stimuli instead of always reacting. But that's the thing, is it takes a highly evolved person, somebody at a higher level of consciousness, to be able to do something like that. And again, it's not taught to our children in school. It was not taught to me. It's something I sought out, you know. And I had you know, I think all of us go through, you know, some form of anxiety, depression in our life, whether it's clinical or whether it's situational, breakup, death, loss of a friend, you know. But I think to be mentally healthy, it's a combination of diet, because what we eat affects our brain. It affects our gut microbiome. I think that to be mentally fit, you really need to take care of your body. You need to keep your blood flowing. This law of circulation is, you know, keeping your brain sharp, feeding that brain, feeding your body, so that your energy, you know, getting good sleep, so that you're fully rested, fully recharged every day. So really being mentally healthy is being at your best, performance-wise, like, and also with your IQ, you know, because like I said, intelligence really isn't everything. It's all about awareness.
So what do you tell somebody right now who are going through with the mental healthy prior to this medication they're taking? Because medication, it doesn't help much. Plus, the price of medication is so highly. So this is really a crucial situation to the people out there who cannot afford it. So what do you tell someone who is going through, or she's going through, maybe family member or anybody else, what the alternative solution? Maybe you know, just give and take.
Right. I think working with somebody, you know, there's different types of therapies that help people go to the root cause of why are they mentally ill. Like I said, you know, there are some mental diseases that really have to have medication, like bipolar. You know, you need to have a chemical balance there. But a lot of times, depression, like I said, it's a basically a manifestation of a body not at ease. A body in dis-ease or disease is basically a chaotic vibration, you know, and it's basically a lack of awareness of how to reach happiness, how to transcend negative thoughts or experiences that are not allowing us to feel and interpret happy, positive vibrations. So if we understand how do we do that, that's really where you need a mentor that's going to show you how. It's going to guide you there, because we all have blind spots. You know, we all think we know everything, you know, relatively speaking, or we should be able to solve our own problems. But a lot of times the mentor is going to fill in the gaps, and they're going to show somebody the way. Somebody needs to be that guiding light. Okay. And that's what they kind of liken awakening to, is like, if, you know, turning the light on in a dark room, you know, finally seeing everything. And the other thing too, I saw recently an analogy by one of my mentors, Osho, is he said that some people don't like the light to be turned on because now they have to face certain problems that they've put in the dark. So he said that turning the light on doesn't make more problems arise, it just brings awareness that the problems were always there. And when you face them, when you face those problems, or what most people call inner demons, or, you know, traumatic experiences, then you can transcend those. Like PTSD, a lot of military face, you know, the post-traumatic stress disorder, people who have been abused. But that's the problem, is they're not aware of how to transcend that. You know, and a lot of it goes with meditation, understanding how to quiet the mind, how to bring order to this mind, because everything in your life is just a direct reflection of what's going on inside of you, right? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that make a lot of sense. Jennie, question to you again. You know, there's a lot of women out there, they are going through a lot, you know, health issues, and and breast cancer become, huge issue here in America. You see people all the time asking money donation for pink, this and that. But what do you think something else have to be done prior to what we are eating? Don't you think there's another alternative out there more than all time focusing on, contributing and giving money and celebrating about something? It doesn't make so much to the community for breast cancer. There's another alternative. People that can be aware what they should eat, what they should not eat, because I do believe what is killing us, not we eat every day, what we don't eat. What your message out there?
Right, absolutely. No, I agree that there's an epidemic of cancer on the rise, and it's obviously no coincidence that our food is being sprayed with pesticides, and our food is genetically modified, mass produced. There's hormones and antibiotics in our meat products. Milk products that humans really don't belong drinking are full of again, hormones, antibiotics. It's very hard to digest, which is why a lot of people are lactose intolerant. But it's also clogging the immune systems of us. And you have to understand that our bodies have every ability to heal itself. We just need to provide the right environment. So cancer can be healed. There are cures. I think that these pink ribbons and marathons, walk for breast cancer, are all very misleading. And it's like you wonder where all that money goes. They spend a lot of money on pink ribbons, but like, why are the cancer rates going up? Why haven't we?
Let me tell you this. Let me take it to a second. Let me suck my little drink here. You are touching my soul. Come on now.
Yeah. So the other thing is, like I said, is it's again a lack of awareness that people don't really have faith in natural modalities, because Western medicine is the primary, and alternative medicine is the secondary, where that used to be reversed back then. We used to follow apothecary and natural remedies. Nature has every cure we need, but I think not only is it something we're physically ingesting, or like I said, there's heavy metals, there's dirty water, a poor diet, but it's also, a lack of ability to cope with stress. Stress is the number one killer. And we have physical stress, we have mental stress. And obviously when the body breaks down and you get cancer, it's because the body basically says, I give up. I can't keep fighting this anymore. I'm overwhelmed. And the body starts to break down and the immune system cannot fight off. We're producing tumor cells all the time. Okay. And our body and our immune system is constantly, scouring our body for dead and diseased cells and the cells that have mutated. But what happens is cancer sets in when the immune system is compromised and the defenses are down, and then tumors grow and then they spread. You have to ask yourself, is going in and cutting that tumor out going to remove the cancer? No, because it will grow back, and you have to figure out, why was that cancer there to begin with? What environment allowed that cancer to grow? And a lot of times when you have any amount of hatred towards yourself, or just grief or loss or depression, you're in a negative vibration. Your whole body is vibrating low. And you really can't experience happiness. And the most happiest people that laugh, that again digest their emotions, they're healthy, they cope with stress, they're healthy, mind, body, soul. And the people that you see that are experiencing disease or cancer is because there's something in their body that is obviously showing you there's some symptoms here. Pain is not normal. Having cancer is not normal. We need to go back to creating the environment for that body to heal itself, and it's not going through chemo and radiation, which just pretty much damages your immune system even worse, pretty much ensuring you'll get cancer again, or you will die soon, or you'll be very unhealthy for the rest of your life. But understanding, if anybody really wanted to know, like, the cures for cancer is alkalizing the body. The Gerson therapies are very well known, and a lot of times the big problem, unfortunately, is that the government and big pharmaceutical companies and Monsanto, they don't want people to cure themselves. They're in the business to make people sick and ignorant and dependent. Okay. And unfortunately, for the majority of people, they trust their doctor, and they just don't know that there are cures out there, because the government limits this information. If anybody tries to say there are cures, they throw them in jail or they end up dead. I've heard it all too often, and it's sickening, because like I said, I study natural therapies. I'm not obviously pharmaceuticals have their place and there's life-saving drugs, but people also seem to think, you know, that that's the quick fix. And I say, listen, you know, we have to realize that, you know, nature has every cure we need, and we have to rehabilitate ourselves, because the most powerful healing that you can do is with the power of your mind. You can command anything in this physical body with the mind, because this body is a manifestation of the mind. And most people don't understand the mind. They don't know what the mind is. It's not your brain. It's not just chemicals floating around. It's literally a compilation of you have two parts to your mind. That conscious mind where you're thinking, you reason with that part of your mind, you store information there. And then there's the other part of your mind, which is your emotional mind. Okay, that's the part of the mind that controls the execution of behavior. Okay, and when you can combine the two and harmonize them, and allow, you know, thoughts to transmute from the conscious to the subconscious, and it creates what we call your programming, and your dominating thoughts, your attitude, you know, the alignment of thoughts, actions, and behaviors. That's really where you reach that level of awareness. So I would encourage anybody that has any type of disease to always look for the natural alternative therapy, and go to the root cause, and don't just pop pills.
Jennie, you are amazing. You touch some areas I'm aware. I want to give you kudos. You are bombastic. All I can call you. You are bomb.com. Now, you mentioned about to equal cleanse, you know, to recall your body. Do you have any tips people they need to know? How, what to eat? Just 2 minutes.
Absolutely. I would say, you know, just to keep it simple, is I would get rid of all dairy from your diet. I would get rid of any gluten products, highly inflammatory, whether you're gluten intolerant or not, doesn't belong in the diet. Wheat products are heavily genetically modified, but if you were to eat them, go organic. Anything you eat really should be organic, not genetically modified, free of hormones and antibiotics. I think that a healthy selection of fresh fruits and vegetables, again, organic preferably, because they're not going to have the pesticides and the Roundup that really, like I said, is destroying our guts, our intestinal tract, causing all kinds of food sensitivities and inflammation, and which obviously left long enough becomes disease. I would highly suggest somebody get a coach or a mentor that can guide them, because it's a lot out there. And like I said, there's a lot of people that have no business teaching people how to take care of their bodies, you know, telling people to get on all these fad diets. And like I said, people go for the quick fix, and because they're kind of naive or ignorant, they don't know how to decipher what's true and what's not. So you want to go with somebody that you resonate with, that is reputable, has positive reviews. But that's the biggest thing, is what we don't know can hurt us. You know, and when you have somebody that obviously has the answers and can guide you, that's the safest and fastest way to not waste time and money or compromise your health. But getting back to certain foods is like, just try to stay away from processed food. You know, we were designed to eat what nature gave us. So it doesn't need to be, you know, poked and prodded and added all these chemicals. Like, a lot of the stuff you see is not food. Fast food is not even food anymore. It's chemicals. Anything low fat or low carb or this or that, anything that's manipulated in such a way that's got a long list of ingredients, is just not natural. It's not the way nature intended. So the closest you can go to a raw diet, you know, fresh meats, organic, and fresh fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. Limit the amount of grains that you have. We don't need as much carbohydrates that as society says we do. And obviously the standard American diet is it's completely bogus. So we have to basically go against conventional wisdom, which doesn't seem logical. But if you look at the majority of people are following conventional wisdom, and why is America the sickest country in the world? Lack of awareness.
Great. Jennie, I have a question for you, okay? What do you think about nutrition, supplement? Because your body needs something whenever it is, and we cannot find everything the way how we grow food here in America. So that's the issue. So what it comes to your mind when you talk about nutrition, which is everybody needs?
So I would say, again, you know, you've got to find what works for your body, and you know, as a rule of thumb, like I said, you can't go wrong just sticking to nature. Fruits, vegetables, lots of water, hydrate yourself. I mean, you know, that's one of the biggest nutrients we fail to consume is oxygen and water. Those are the two biggest things our body needs. Vitamin L, I call it vitamin L for love. You know, you want to give yourself a healthy dose of love. That's a vitamin. as far as supplementation, like you really would want to work with, again, a medical practitioner that can do studies to show which foods you might be allergic to, or if you are over or under with any certain vitamin, because you can do damage if you take too much of something. There's a lot of common deficiencies, like most men and women are deficient in magnesium, but that's a very important vitamin. Zinc. Digestive enzymes is something most people commonly don't take, but that just helps you break down and absorb your food. But it really is custom, to a person's body and what they need, and your body will pretty much tell you, and like you should just get, a full panel of blood work from your doctor. There's one of the biggest things I think that's important is trace minerals. And there are some good brands out there, because we need minerals for everything. We need to have a good amount of proteins in our diet, but it's all about balance. And like I said, don't go on fad diets. That's not going to sustain you. Don't go on diets at all. We need to make permanent lifestyle changes and create the habits that support a healthy lifestyle. Otherwise, you're going to fall victim to what's convenient, what's right at the tip of your fingers, what's in a package. But I think that if people realize that eating healthy, but so are medical bills when you're sick, and it's inconvenient to have to go to the hospital or the doctor because you're not feeling well, and I think there's an epidemic of fatigue in our society because America wants everybody to do things so fast, and we're just rushing through life that we don't actually stop and be present during a meal and enjoy it anymore, or everybody's going out to eat and they're on their phones, but eating to me is a sacred, it's a sacred thing. I enjoy making healthy food taste good because food is very pleasurable. So I always say to myself, if I don't want to wear it, I won't eat it.
I love that. That's very interesting, Jenny. Question to you and the people that really want to know, when the last time did you been in the hospital, emergency room? When?
I'm sorry?
When the last time have you seen the doctor?
I'm my own doctor.
When last time have you been to the hospital?
Probably over a decade.
Why?
Why did I go? Or why?
Why you never been there for decades? Because I don't want to go to the doctor.
No, because I take care of myself. Like I said, I want to look good. I want to feel good. I want to, like I said, and I've created those habits so I don't have to think about it. It's not hard work. The decision's already been made. And I enjoy taking care of myself. Life is so much better when you feel good, when you have your health, because when you don't have it, the absence of health, you feel it, it affects your life, your relationships, your work, your ability to be your best. And I think that, like I said, there's a lot that goes to nutrition that, like I said, doctors aren't taught nutrition in medical school. When they treat a patient, they give them their drugs and they send them on their way to correlate the fact that nutrition, like we literally are what we eat. Everything we eat turns into cells that turn over, that create our bodies. So what happens is when a body gets disease or cancer grows, it's basically a tipping point of when the disease cells overcome the healthy cells. So all we need to do is bring that health back, and the disease cells go down and our body's back in, a healthy state. So that's the thing, is if we're eating diseased plants and diseased animals, what happens to us? We become diseased. So be careful of what you eat and get educated, and like I said, I have a couple mentors, if anybody was ever interested, who do I follow? Who do I get my medical advice from? I do I'm actually doing one right now. I do a full body 30-day detox every year. And like, again, you got to be careful about detoxes, like which ones are good, which ones are scams, which supplements should you take. But again, I think every now and then you have to realize that we're collecting toxins from the environment and we need to expel those, and our liver and our kidneys can only do so much. But we need to give our body a break. We need to rest and recover. And what I call give ourselves an oil change. We do that for our car, we do that for our filter. So we need to do the same thing for our bodies, do that internal cleanse, but also detox mentally from negative thinking, because like I said, that creates that stress. And as your body becomes stressed, like I said, that chain can only hold so much before it breaks, and then the disease sets in. So mind, body, soul, spirit. There's a lot of different elements of health. It's not just eating healthy or exercising. It really is spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Those all go hand in hand.
Jenny, let me tell you this. I was in California some times ago, and I did some health and awareness event over there. Most of the issue I find out, the kids aged 13 years old, 14 years old, 20 years old, they're facing diabetes. This is United States. So if I ask you, give and take, what your advice will be, because this is something is really bothering me to see those kids going through that. What do you think have to be done?
I think that, like, again, parents are uneducated, feeding their kids, processed food, processed sugar, corn syrup. The diet from a young age is just completely conducive to diabetes. And that's the thing, is like, you got to ask yourself, why are kids, young and chubby? Is because they're not outside playing. They're on their phones, they're on iPads and watching TV and just kind of getting sucked in and programmed. But again, you can't expect an uneducated parent to to take good care of their kid. They're probably just eating the same way their parents gave them. What's cheap and what's convenient. Here, have candy. Here, have this. But yet, and then the kids become addicted to that kind of food. Sugar is more addictive than crack or cocaine, as far as I've read. And then they don't want to eat a healthy food. They don't associate that, and then they get mad at their parents for not letting them have the candy. Um, but that's the biggest concern here. Sugar is a big problem. Sugar is very inflammatory. It ages us. It dumbs down our immune system. It's the biggest reason why you have these kids that have ADD, which most kids are just naturally curious, but they're hyperactive because they're high on sugar and they can't focus. And then we create, again, here's a disease, let's throw a pill at it so we can just make some money. And obviously, like I said, the pharmaceutical industry and the government isn't necessarily in the business to keep you healthy and off medications. And that's the problem, is if this was something that they wanted to, in essence, fix, there should be an education, a learning curve that would be implemented so that those poor children would not be growing up fat and teased and unhealthy and just like really at a disadvantage from a young age. Now they have to work a lot harder to get well, when they've got diabetes like that. Like I said, they're already in a state of disease at such a young age. So it's unfortunate. Like I said, it's heavily, if not entirely, diet related that those children face, juvenile diabetes.
Jenna, I give you 500%. That's amazing. The parents, they have to be responsible for what they're giving their kids to eat. That's amazing. So how about we do at the school? What the parents, they have to do, because the kids, when they go to school, they get this private, like public food, whatever. What do you think about that? Because that's something also can be something have to be done in a different perspective.
Right. I mean, I think the best thing a parent could do is provide the lunch for the child.
Okay.
Get them used to eating healthy, balanced food, and explain to them why you want to eat a balanced. And when I was younger, going through high school, I became very health conscious at a young age, and I packed my own lunch. But when you're really young, you pack the lunch for your children. Why give them fruit snacks when you can give them an apple? Fruit is very healthy. It tastes good. But you shouldn't be pushing, like I said, processed food just because it's convenient. Sandwiches, some vegetables, some fruits. Like I said, no dairy, no yogurts and stuff like that. Milk, cereal. It's just not food. And that's the thing, is we were like, when did like bagels and breads and cereals become a healthy breakfast? It's the most unhealthy breakfast. But again, it's what society programs and conditions into us is part of a standard American diet. So I think, again, going back to nature, you cannot go wrong. Nature provided food and fruit and resources as they are, and they don't need to be tampered with. The more tampered a food is, the less healthy it is for our bodies.
Jen, you are amazing. Do you have a pets?
Do I have pets? Not right now. I have two little doggies that I adopted, and my mom has them. They're little Italian greyhounds. But I love animals. Love them.
Do you give your pets great food or you give it junky food?
I give them top of the line. I think it's like blue dog food, and they get premium dog treats I get from Whole Foods. So that's the thing too, is you see a lot of animals reacting to the food, to the wheat. There's wheat and gluten in the food. They get itchy, and most people don't know what it is, but they're experiencing the chemicals, the hormones, the antibiotics, and you can see it. And dogs are getting diabetes now. There's sugar and corn syrup in dog food. It's awful. What they have in pet food. But yes, definitely, our dogs, they get a lot of natural food scraps. We eat venison and chicken, but they do get a healthy diet. We don't leave them out.
So do you think the pets they are facing the same situation like human being?
I think so. I mean, a lot of times they say if you look at a dog and it's overweight, it's a reflection of the activity level of its owner. Um,
Jenny, go Google this guy. His name is Lance London. L.A. Lance London.
yep.
Where is that? Where do you get that?
I'm on Facebook. Who is he?
Well, he just developed amazing product for the pets. That's why I don't know what you're gonna see there, but his dog, he had an issue with his dog. His name, uh, uh, whatever happened with his pets, he just Googling it, figured out what he can do for his pets. And then he find out that if he can give a raw meat and a nutrition, and then he did it. And it, and then the pets survived for a couple of years. So when you mentioned that, I remember when he was giving the kind of the testimonies and the experiencing about Rock, his dog, his name is Rock, how he saved his life because when he took his dog to the vet to the doctor, and the doctor said we're gonna put him on sleep. He said, "No, I'm not gonna let him do that." And he figured out raw beef, raw meat, and the nutrition for the pet, and he survived. The Rock survived. So that's very interesting. That's why he's really trying to do the best he can, everybody to make sure all the pets get nutrition they need. So this is very interesting. I hope we're going to own your own pets soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you the interesting question. So bottom of the line, we need to watch what we eat, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So when we talk about socio-economic, people that are looking to make some money, what your advice? What your take?
So
You think you have to go back again to the internet marketing?
yeah, I think internet marketing, networking is huge. But like I said, just getting a mentor, following the lead of somebody who's been successful and can guide you step by step.
So if somebody wants really to get you mentorship from you, what this person have to do, how they can contact you, what the information you have out there.
So we do have a website. It's matrixsuccessnetwork.com, and I'm not afraid to give out my personal phone number. I'm happy to answer anybody. My number is 508-965-3053. And they can personally email me at jennielynn@jennielynn.com, and that's JENNIELYNN @jennielynn.com.
Yeah, that's very impressive. All right. So what the challenges do you think do you think every woman they need to try to be like you, bodybuilder? Do you think that's a good idea? What do you tell those people who want to be like you? How can you make it their mindset? Say, let me give it a try.
Yeah, what I would tell somebody is it's great to be inspired by somebody, and I really think what I would be able to do for women is help empower them to be their best selves, because it's not good to compare yourself to other people, and obviously a lot of people don't know what it took for me to get that way, and I actually would not recommend people become like you could be a bodybuilder, but I don't really recommend competing. I mean, I competed and it was great, but it really wasn't healthy. Your body doesn't want to be at ridiculously low levels of body fat. It's a very strict, rigid diet, and sometimes it can really. But I would say anything you try to do, strive for balance. You strive
Okay.
for the behaviors that are going to bring you health. So just starting a regimen of getting in the gym and investing time into your body, into your health, and in getting educated. I think it's great that people start to raise their level of awareness, and that they follow people that have walked that path so that they don't make the same mistakes and maybe don't struggle as much as I did. I can definitely help people avoid some landmines that I did, but also I think women need to just learn to love and appreciate their bodies, because I think society has just programmed, and like I said, I fell victim for it myself, that I didn't know how to love myself. I felt imperfect. I became very perfectionistic, especially competing. Like I said, it skews your ability to realize what is the best, healthiest look for yourself. Not, ripped and shredded and a heavily manipulated look on stage where you're heavily dieted and dehydrated, and then you take certain foods and electrolytes and you look your best, but that's like for a day, and then they pop that on magazines and you think that that's real. And I just think there's this illusion, and there's this lack of awareness when it comes to understanding oneself, loving oneself, having that balance and that inner awareness of inner beauty. What is beauty? Where did we get our idea of what beauty is? And I think it all boils down to confidence and self-image. And like I said, the biggest thing for me was getting mentored by Bob and understanding paradigms, but also reading books. Because I always say that it's a rule of thumb, 1 hour a day to exercise your body, 1 hour a day to exercise your mind. And books, are like our gym for the mind. Okay. What we read is rewriting the programming, through repetition. We start to rewire our mind and the way we operate, and it expands our belief systems. But understanding that there's a self-image we have of what we see physically, but there's this mental self-image, and it impacts how we interact with other people. Are we confident? Are we shy? Our personality. And I think a lot of people really don't know how to be themselves. They're not comfortable being themselves. They've been told to be anything but themselves. But when we learn how to become what we call our authentic selves, that's happiness. When we are no longer trying to please anybody but ourselves, we don't care about the opinions of others. But I think that's where a lot of people are, is they're so self-absorbed, they're not even really able to connect and communicate with other human beings, or they feel inadequate or unworthy, and then they're only catching what they're in harmony with, which is not good, which is not their best. So in order to basically turn that around, you want to really study yourself, study the mind and the power that we all have within us, so that you can transcend the ego and you can raise your level of consciousness so that you can connect with, higher vibration thoughts and people and feelings. And you see all these people that are successful or going after their goals, or they're healthy and they're fit. Like I said, didn't happen overnight.
Jennie, your name is Jean, but you're a genius. Let me ask you this amazing question. I know you came to pitch to the Shark Tank talking about the marketing. Yep. I want to hear more about that.
Sure. So the event that you and I went to was it was a learn event, LURN, and they brought Kevin Harrington, who most people know, the guy who built the infomercial, the As Seen on TV, and he was on Shark Tank. He was the first shark. And we basically did a mini event where we were pitching different, marketing techniques. And my husband has a software company, and they have a product. It's a CRM, or a contact relations manager, called Network Ninjas. So basically, we were showing how this is really going to disrupt an industry. It's the first CRM that is really for a solo entrepreneur, a networker. It's not really for a business. There's obviously other CRMs that are for that, but it's really unique what this particular product does, and that it also has a really great affiliate marketing platform. So if anybody is using the product and would like to share it, they can make money. And obviously they can then build a team of affiliates and make some residual income. So there's a way to have a business within a business, which is basically what affiliate marketing is, or network marketing. Those are two different things. But that's the thing, is our network is our net worth, and any business is just experts at networking. So it was really great to go there and to pitch this idea. And obviously there was a contest there, and they were looking for somebody that they could invest in that business. So Network Ninjas is going to be launching very soon, and we are actually looking for people who want to be beta testers, or like I said, affiliates, and who want to build a business and share this amazing tool. Because there's a network marketing is a $170 billion industry, and there's millions of people globally, who could use a tool like this to help them organize their business and manage their contacts. And it's a really smart tool, digital business assistant we call it, an all-in-one communicator. So instead of having all these different apps and all these people, it's like you can just connect with them all in one app, and it'll push it to those other apps. So you can automate some of that. I mean, I think that's one of the best things about digital marketing or internet marketing is this concept of automation, is that things are kind of going on, you set it and you forget it, and then it's kind of continuously operating and building and growing. So that's what when we met you, Bruno, that's what we were doing at that particular event.
That was amazing for you to stop by, and you were so kind. You was just like friendly. I was just like, oh my gosh, just like meeting Prince Pierre, you know, just like that. And then you go, boom, you left. And then you know what? And you did a good job. You keep in touch. That's the things I'm so excited. If I ask you, okay, if I give you the great opportunity, I'm a global connector. I am a social butterfly. I can fly all the wings, you name it. Okay, how can we work together?
So I think if you obviously you're a very connected individual, and is if you see that there's a need for what I can provide, whether it's fitness, whether it's health, whether it's personal development, business coaching, or anything for that matter, I don't think there's anything I can't do to help somebody, even if it's just to help find them the right mentor for what they need or coach. Um, but I would love to be introduced to anybody that has an influence. Like I said, I'm very happy to pay a generous referral to you for that. I don't expect people to help me for free, and I love doing business to business. So that's, you can share my contact info and do three-way introductions. You can share this video, but whatever we can do to make the world a better place, that's what I'm all about.
Amen. I use name amen. Amen means you agree everything. That's what it means. But sometimes in the Korean, they say aju means that you don't agree for everything. So, so I say amen. I agree everything you said. It's very, very interesting. Let me ask you, what the challenging are you facing when people they know you're a bodybuilder, you look like a model, and you're beautiful. Don't you see you have some? Let me have that experience.
I think sometimes people can be intimidated by somebody's appearance, and they might misjudge you. They might think you're a certain way, or stereotype you, because a lot, it's sometimes it's not feminine for people to think women, have muscles. But I'm very comfortable in my body. I accept myself. I was just naturally a very muscular, kid. Um, and that's the thing is
I wanted to bring your page back when you were talking. Bring it up, page, when you were boom. Come on now, bring page. I want to. Yeah, absolutely. When we talk that, impressing me. Come on now.
those pictures.
Yes.
See that?
You know that day, Jean, when I shake hand with you, I didn't know you were. How you keep your master's law? Because otherwise I could not touch you, but it was very soft.
My what?
You was very soft.
Yeah.
What
I'm
does it make you soft?
yeah, I think I'm very gentle, but yeah, you would never know. I'm Wonder Woman under my cape.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm a chameleon. I fit in everywhere.
That's it. Very, very interesting. Do you think, Jenny, this is something this kind of person, I don't know how to handle the bodybuilder woman. How your husband handle you? Sorry about that.
How does he handle me? How?
You become softer because you're a bodybuilder. Probably you're stronger more than a man. How do you manage it? There's any way. I'm, come on now, give me a take.
Well, he's into fitness as well, so we
Uh-oh.
yeah, so it's but yeah, I mean, I'm not rough and tough, you know what I mean? Like I can
I saw him, but when I saw your pictures, I said, "Oh, I was just dreaming." You know what I mean? I've been to the bodybuilder competition for the military in Campo June, and if you know this guy, his name is Pete. I've been there. I was doing the movie called Mr. America, so I see all this competition. I was trying to do something with them, Mr. Pete, over there in upstate New York. So it's really take a discipline to have your body. In Africa, when you have bigger stomach, you have money, you're the best man in the world. In America, well, I got 6 pack. What is 6 packs means? There's another 6 packs, 7 packs, or just 6 packs? Tell me the structure of the body. Is it 6 pack or there's a 70 packs?
Well, there's a six pack. You have abdominal muscles, and usually when you can see those muscles protruding, they just kind of look like six kind of squares and blocks right on the abdomen. And that's pretty much a
So you have 6 packs, right?
I do.
Can you show me?
Right now.
You got some on video somewhere.
Let me show you my six pack on my here.
Can't believe the women have 6 pack. That's come on now. That's interesting. Come on now.
Trying to find one of my competition pictures. Okay, let's go here. I have a whole album of when I was in top shape.
I see the holes there on your page.
There we go. You want to see abs?
Yes.
Ask and you shall receive. There we go. There's my six pack right there. 1, 2.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. Come on now. I saw it.
Yeah.
So someone called me and asked me, ask Jenny, how long it took for her to get where she is today?
It took me my whole life, honestly. I think.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're building a body from a young age, but when I started competing, I was in my early 20s, and I had to build that muscle maturity. So I would say, it's taken about maybe 6 years for me to get, in top shape, to build my muscles. But especially for women, it's not as easy, and like especially doing it the natural way. There's obviously no steroids here or anything. Um, but yeah, I mean, depending on when somebody decides to compete. I mean, like I said, I've been, splitting and stacking wood and, doing landscaping my whole life. So I naturally was very built and muscular, but I just needed to fine tune that and bring it to be stage ready and dial it in. So
Jenny, you say for the women it's not easy, but what made you easy to do this?
it was never easy. It's a daily commitment, to that overall goal, and to, like I said, building what you want to build, and just optimizing your physique, the structure that you were given in this physical body. So obviously, there's certain things like you want a six pack, you want, capped delts, you want a nice V taper in your back, broad shoulders and a narrow waist, you want hips that are in proportionate with your shoulders, you want sculpted legs, everything in proportion. So obviously we all have weaknesses, and we want to balance out our physique, and we basically tailor our routine in our workouts for that. But that's the thing, is it takes discipline, which a lot of people don't have, or accountability to basically bridge the gap between intention and results. That's what accountability is. It's the insurance policy for success. That one.
Let me tell you this. This is the best interview I never had in my life. Actually, I'm so proud of everything you have been done. And I think we can extend our relationship so we can be able to reach out more people and do amazing, networking and helping people no matter where we are, because the technology make us connecting. Like now, you're over there, I'm over here. Now we can share this information all over around the world. Have you been to Africa?
Not yet.
Where?
No, I haven't been yet.
Oh, you never been here?
Nope.
So you're welcome to Tanzania. You're welcome to Benin. You're welcome to South Africa. So are you ready?
I'm ready. Bring it
You
on.
don't scare the mosquitoes?
Yeah, no.
No?
No, mosquitoes don't bite me. I bite them.
They bite, they bite, they bite. Jenny, let me tell this. Tell me just a minute about your background from your father and your mother. Are you coming from the military base, or where are you coming from? I mean, you have his brothers. 2 minutes.
So I was born and raised in Massachusetts. My parents, Gail and Lenny, they are a big part of who I am, and raised me with an amazing childhood. I have an older sister, younger brother. Again, blessed with an amazing family. My parents are still together. I love them both. I love my family. I have my first niece, an aunt for the first time, a lovely niece, Violet. But I grew up, middle class in a very small town in Massachusetts, and kind of a country bumpkin, and just rough and tough growing up. But I wouldn't have had it any other way. I grew up in nature and very active, and just I had a very playful childhood, and an education, and just all the things that I needed to grow and to learn. And just explore. I mean, my parents have always told me I've just been the most inquisitive kid. They couldn't restrain me when I was younger. I would climb out of everything, and get out of every high chair or stroller or car seat. I was up flagpoles and jungle gyms and basketball hoops and flat. My parents had to really watch me when I was a kid, because I climb everything. But But I think all in all, like, I'm grateful for all the experiences that I've had, all the people that I've met, all the experiences, good or bad, that have made me who I am. And I accept myself and I accept everything that's happened in my life. And I think that that's a really comfortable place to be, with this inner calm and this inner peace that extends to the outside. And then, like I said, I notice a lot of people are attracted to that because they want that. And that is a superpower, by the way. Calmness of mind is a superpower.
Jennie, so far you are amazing. I'm so impressed, and I'm speechless. I'm sold out. But I have one more things I wanted to do. Number one, what do you tell single mother out there, and what do you tell single father? Just the two people who are struggling with their kids. It's too much stress for them. Sometimes kids acting crazy. Sometimes it's too much. So this is two questions I wanted to answer. Now, what do you tell the single mama there and the single papa over there? That's my last things I want you to give to me the takeout.
So are we talking about the single mom and the single dad of the same kids, or different?
Different
Families. Okay. I would think that any single parent out there, you're gonna bear a lot on the weight of your shoulders, and you've got to wear many hats, and the best thing you can do is take care of yourself, because if you're not healthy and you're not well and you aren't taking care of yourself, you certainly can't take care of other people. So you do the best you can with what you have, and obviously we can always be doing better, but use your resources. There are people that are willing to help. And there are organizations and nonprofits. Use your resources in any situation. There's always a resource, and just get out there and just ask. It's not shameful to ask for help. We all need help, and we all want to help each other. And I think that, for a single parent raising a child is if you're having, stress with the mother to the father or the father to the mothers, don't bring the children into it. They can feel, the tension in relationships. So the best thing you can do is just provide the most positive environment conducive to their growth, and nurture them, and prepare them to be able to develop in this world, where there's a lot of things pulling at them to drag them down. People, the government, bad food, bullying. You know what I mean? We gotta make our kids strong and raise them right, and that starts with us. Our generation to generation, we need to educate ourselves. Any disease, any issue, any economic hardship is just a lack of awareness. It is ignorance. And the ignorance is not stupidity. It's just simply not knowing. But again, how are we not supposed to know when we weren't taught, or know that it exists to seek it out? And I think that there's a lot of organizations out there, like myself included, that's reaching out to the masses to help them be more aware. And my husband and I have an academy called Matrix Mindset Academy, and it's meant for people that maybe can't afford a mentor, but it's helping them get access to this material and some live coaching. So I would encourage the mothers and fathers out there to give themselves some credit, and take care of themselves, and just do the best they can, because that's all that anybody can ever ask. And don't be so hard on themselves.
Jennie, this question just came up. Do you do makeup?
I'm sorry?
Do you do makeups?
I do my own. Yep. I know how to do
makeup. Do you do organic, or you do the chemical one?
All organic.
Really?
Yep.
So tell me somebody who do makeups, what you advise? Because it came out to my mind right now. Boom.
So if you would do makeup, I use Bare Essentials or Mineral Fusion on my face. And I would just say, if you're going to get makeup, get it at Whole Foods or online, anything that's natural, organic, free of, there's a lot of chemicals in our makeup. Anything you put on your skin gets in your bloodstream. Just remember that. So the shampoo, the conditioner, the lotion, the moisturizer, I only use coconut oil as a moisturizer. I don't use lotion.
You say what? Coconut what?
Coconut oil is the best thing that you could eat and put on your body. For
coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
So coconut oil is a good recommendation, correct?
Absolutely, yes. Coconut oil. Anything coconut is super healthy for your body.
You know what, Jennie? Let me tell you this. If you're nearby me here in New York City, whenever in the world, we have big champagne tonight. You are amazing. You say I do work with the highest respectful doctors all over around the world. I present them in World Classic. You answer everything I ask you. it's kind of special. I cannot even talk about it. You are superbomb.com. You are amazing.
We give you a
So, boom! Now, so what do we tell them? So what do we tell them? So makeup is great if we do. So what do your message for? What do your message for those makeup artists? What do they have to do? Because that's the key. You take it 35 seconds, all the poison go to your liver and organs. So what do you tell them? What your opinion options?
Like I said, it's again, you got to just start Googling organic brands out there. They're out there. Whole Foods carries organic product lines, but Bare Essentials, Bare Minerals, is definitely reputable. But just like I said, again, be aware of what you're putting in and on your skin. Gets into your bloodstreams, clogs your pores. It's just not healthy. It's there's a lot of different things. I could go on a long laundry list of the things in different products that you want to be aware of. Even your toothpaste, fluoride, horrible. But that's kind of where I would start. Is just start Googling organic brands and look at the reviews.
So I'm going to invite one of kind of come to speak about everything because I have I have an idea. Now, what the question you have for me before we close out? Bingo! Our Zoom! Come on now. Give me one question so I can answer.
So, Mr. Bruno, what do you feel is your purpose here on earth?
Well, as Jesus says, those who are taking care of those who are poor, or those who are willing to help those who cannot help themselves, those the people who present to me to the heaven. So there's so many people out there. For example, one of the part of the area in the Philippines, they sell kidney to survive. Some part of other world, they have to kill albinos because they think they don't have right to live. Some other part of the world, they think somebody who have oxygen brain confusion, the autism is a body spirit. So my purpose to bridging the gap, it's all about what God told us. It's information. That's why you and I, we are talking. So my really goal and the purpose on the earth to make each and every child out there to let them know you have ability, you have absolutely credibility to do any child can do. So I'm bringing light to the children all over around the world. I'm bringing the value for possibilities. Nothing impossible because God has created it. But some people, they're trying to make things impossible. So my purpose, as much as I can share the possibilities, making the opportunities to the people to get them. It's all about the messaging, guys out there, sweetheart. Because it's all about how we can share what you and I are doing today. Because it's all about lack of information. So my purpose to make every child all over around the world that this is what you have to do. You have a great opportunity out there. It doesn't matter you speak Spanish, Italiano. You have something for you to contribute. So I'm a messenger. I want to bring you peace to Japanese, Korean, American. Let's work together. We came to the one Father, one Mother. There's no any division here. There's no anything. So purpose for my life is bring unification to each and all race all over around the world so we can have a peace, harmony, and do great things. And then we can live the life God has created. So my purpose, if anything, you and I, we can make it a child here in America, all the way to South Africa, making their life better. That's my calling. Come on now.
Cool.
What the next one?
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege and a great honor tonight talking to my sister all over around the world. She's the only one humble. You can imagine seeing the sister who have 760 parts, humble, talking to me. This is my privilege, 2019. This is the only one you need to follow and listen. because it takes sometimes somebody to tell you who you are and to translate your dream. Sister Jen, thank you for this, and I'm looking to see you and walk with you, see you to the top. Thank you and Happy New Year!
Boom.
Ta-da! Boom! All right, thank you.
Right.